Welcome back to Wake Up Charlotte Weekend on this Saturday. If you're just waking up with us, maybe peeking out your window, it looks okay out there. But tomorrow, a very different story.
A much different story, Kaylin. Yes, it doesn't look as sunny as it did a few hours ago, but still not too shabby. You can see from Kannapolis, Lylesville there in Anson County, Davidson and Meck County, and over in Gaston County. There's clouds mixing in, but sunshine still peeking through as well. And temperatures are going to warm up into the 50s this afternoon. It won't be a terrible day by any stretch. But tomorrow, we're only in the low 50s all day, and we have rain pretty much for the entirety of the day. And of course, it's the winds. The reason why we want folks to stay weather aware, especially tomorrow afternoon, as those are going to be gusting close to about 35, close to 40 miles per hour for a few spots. And that's all thanks to a low pressure system that's currently trying to develop in the Gulf of Mexico, moving across the state of Florida today, creating the chance for severe weather. As it rolls up the East Coast, it is going to create higher wind gusts, higher rain chances for the Carolina coastline, and even some beach erosion, high surf, and high rip current risk for folks there. Inland communities, though, we are mostly seeing a rain and a wind threat for the second half of the day. The rain will start as early as about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, but by the time you're turning on Wake Up Charlotte Weekend, we hope it is almost overspread the entirety of the region. You can see that all the way through lunchtime, but notice what happens as we approach the second half of the afternoon. Now, this is a small but notable change since yesterday. A small, very limited shift toward the east with this center of low pressure has allowed for some drying out periods for the mountains and likely the northern foothills and even a sliver of the northwestern Piedmont. Now, if you live across most of the Charlotte metro, this does not include you. It is going to rain for most, if not the entirety of the day, but these areas should see some drying out periods for the latter half of the afternoon, so around 4, 5, 6 o'clock, whereas areas along and east of 77 are still going to be doused in heavy rain. The entire region won't be dry until likely after midnight, and then eventually for Monday afternoon, we're largely dry, except for a quick burst of northwesterly wind by late Monday afternoon is going to allow for enough wind and enough moisture and enough cold air for a quick burst of snow up in the mountains, but that'll not be till the second half of Monday. So the heavy rain is off and on for most of the day, but it'll be most present there by the middle part of the afternoon. The winds will be gusting, especially by the latter half of the morning and early afternoon, but it's right around 3 o'clock that I think we'll start to see our highest winds, and that'll be when those scattered power outages will be at their highest risk. Now, when it comes to the winds, again, gusting 35 to 40 miles per hour, but if you have friends and family near the coast or maybe even property there, those winds will be much higher. In fact, winds toward the Outer Banks could get close to 55, 60, even not out of the question to see a gust near 65 miles per hour. With this low moving nearby, you're really going to notice the aches and pains. In fact, I've already had a few viewers send me some messages on Twitter, email, things like that, that you're already starting to kind of notice the aches a little bit more today. This will be more noticeable by tonight and probably last off and on through at least Monday night before it's completely out of here. Now, the winds die down Tuesday, but the cold air really digs in. In fact, we could see highs struggle to reach the mid-40s on Tuesday, upper 40s on Wednesday, before we're a little bit closer to normal for mid to late December by Thursday and Friday.